Now we are going to learn about concept. The concept, how everything is being implemented. And hypnosis is all about concepts. Utilizing all those concepts, making it a process and implementing them in our hypnosis practice. Consider you are sitting with a client, looking at the client, and you're looking very, very carefully. Looking what client is going to do, all the action, look them very carefully and utilize every action of your client, what he's going to do. Everything what client is going to do, you read before he is going to do and utilize it moment to moment.
Yeah, that's right. It's a prime element in the modern hypnotherapy as well, which we call as the utilization. As we discussed earlier about hypnotherapists, including Milton Erickson, in his early days, he would say to people, uncross your legs, put your hands on your thighs, take a deep breath, go into the trance. But eventually, Erickson learned by the experience to direct trance less and less, and he began to allow what would happen to happen. This is called utilization. So, as you begin practicing hypnosis, you can get excellent results by the process of inducing and deepening trance by utilizing everything that happens.
That happens means all the universal things which are going to happen with the client. Like client is going to blink his eye. Everyone does that. You just utilize that. So you're going to say, now you're going to blink your eyes and about to recognize that you're going to blink it. That's true, he's going to blink it, he can't hold it for a long time. We're utilizing all those actions to induce trance.
And this means that you pay a very close attention to the things. And you always say to your client, that's right. Weave smoothly into your conversation the things the client does, and even unexpected things that may happen around you. I remember working one evening with a client that we had that led into a deep trance. We were sitting very near a grandfather clock, with the chimes that would reverberate through the whole house. It was almost 8 o'clock. As I sat in deep repo with a client, all of a sudden, out of the corner of my ear, I heard the clock make the whirring sound. Before it makes as a chime sounds. And I thought to myself, oh no, what I'm going to do? The client is in the deep trance. As I heard the wait, I'm going to do. The client is in deep trance. And as I heard it again, I said, in a moment, you are going to have a profound reverberations of 7 ways that you know that you have changed. And the hammer came down and sounded a profound bang.
Boom!
And I said, one,
Boom!
two,
Boom!
three.
Boom!
So utilize, and utilize. Use everything that happens in the context of hypnosis to deepen the client's trance. When this client came into the trance, it was very deepening for her. But afterwards, she said it was like one of the profound experience of her life.
Utilizing everything going around, everything going to happen around to induce trance. If you are sitting in a park and you hear the bird chirping, then you can make another statement for utilizing the bird chirping into your hypnotic statement to induce more and more trance. And always saying after that, that's right.
Absolutely. So Erickson was a master at utilization, and he would use everything that occurred in the trance. He would say to the client, I'm not sure if you noticed this, but your breathing has slowed down and your eyes has become fixated on the spot on the wall. And whether or not you have noticed this, perhaps one or the other of your arms has become slightly stiff. So Rickson would utilize everything that has happened because he loved paying attention to the things. And that's absolutely right. This is the driving force that we come and learn by the experience of putting how deepen we can take our clients into the trance.
So you can utilize everything that happens in the context of a client's trance. For example, if you see something that the client is about to do, tell the client to do it. And when they do it, simply say, "That's right." That's utilization. Many times you might have noticed the client has having some kind of habits moving their shoulder in a different way. Then you can say, now you are going to move your shoulder in a certain way where you like to move it. And it's all right to do it. That's right.
So let's suppose that you say to your client, in a moment you are going to blink, which is an automatic movement. And as the automatic movement will happen, the client will blink. And you say, "That's right." And when the client blinks, the unconscious mind begins to accept the idea that it triggered in the blink in the response of your suggestions. And the focus on paying attention to even tiny things that client does is very important. It's really that much important that it will put your client into the deep trance. And the hypnotherapist would sit at the head of the couch with the patient facing away from him, and neither would see the other. So Erickson initially came under the great deal with the criticism of suggesting that we should, like client and the hypnotherapist, should be looking at each other. And from that moment, the concept of creating the repo has deeply or profoundly been changed with this Ericksonian suggestions. And I suggest you too as well that look at your clients while you're working with them in hypnosis or any other field. It's a good idea to have your chair at 90 to 135-degree angle to the client's chair for two reasons.
That we already demonstrated in one of our video where we are demonstrating the placements of the chair, how to put them in right placement.
So as we have discussed there in that demonstration, first this angle will enable you to take full advantage of the peripheral vision, noticing anything from the events in the room to the rise and the fall of the client's chest as they breathe. And the second, this angle will enable you to have space, avoiding any feelings of invasions and feel safe. And this will strengthen your rapport with the client, and you will be paying attention to the client. And a special variety of utilization is the use of convincers to build the client's belief in the reality of trance. Because people often expect trance to be something remarkably different, like I would be unconscious or I'll be lying down. They may discount the level of trance that they attain because it feels so familiar and we all do it all the time. And most of the times, even I tell my clients, trance is a normal state. It's going to feel very familiar, like you are driving or you are going up in the lift and escalator states. And they sometimes have doubts about whether anything is really happening. So the convincer will help you, showing the client that they have been in trance. And the best convincer is client's own behaviors or client's own actions. Behavior in which there is some this this distinctions between the conscious mind and the unconscious behavior. Let's say when the client has arm catalepsy, which you're going to learn in coming lessons, you can have them open their eyes and look at the rigid raised arm. And that you can check in the suggestibility test as well. You can show them that where their arms were and where they are. And when you tell your clients, were you in trance? And if they still say no after looking at the raised arms, then you can use this as a convincer to tell them, yes, you are in the trance, because this is the change of behavior which their conscious and unconscious mind can categorize easily, differentiate easily. So, likewise, you can notice certain things that client is about to do, like they become aware of them. And you can ask them to do by saying the word, that's right. It's their own behavior, followed with a convincer and a suggestions, which means they are in repo with their own unconscious mind, and they easily accept all the suggestions for which they are saying you. And our emphasis on utilization stems from one of the Ericksonian's discoveries about the powers of utilization. And utilizations works equally well with the techniques that other masters have also proved. So let's talk about the utilization exercise for two people. One person will act as a hypnotherapist and the other as a client. The hypnotherapist sits across from the client at a comfortable 130-degree angle and goes into the repo with the client. From the NLP point of view, this means matching the client's physiology. Sit the same way the client is sitting. Match the client's head tilt, breathing, posture, even the angle of their spine. As you do this, hypnotherapists go into a trance. So if you are in repo with the client and you are in trance, then the client will go into a trance too. And every time you notice that the client is doing anything that looks like going into the trance, utilize that. Every single thing by saying, that's right. You will only use two simple words, and that will bring the entire trance induction. That's right. Now notice how somebody saying that's right to you. If you are listening to these audios, pause this audio and sit with other person. Keep on saying that's right. Do this exercise, and after 5 minutes you can swap the roles and feel the same thing how you feel by listening these two words only. That's right. Look how deep you can go. Feel the trance and feel it. Utilize everything that's happening.
So during this exercise, what you're going to do, you're just going to say, that's right. And as soon as you see that client is going to blink his eyes, you say, now you're going to blink your eyes. That's right. And as you blink the eyes, then you can see, you can breathe in as you see him, he's breathing in. Breathe in, that's right. And you just keep saying that for 5 minutes.